Locker room talk, baby.
The Locker Room.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Locker Room. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. We were supposed to have Alex Glenn in the studio, but unfortunately, due to a few mistakes, he wasn't able to make it. You'll hear more about it in the interview. Hope you guys enjoy it, and make sure to leave some feedback and like us on Facebook. Thanks, guys. Enjoy. Alex Glenn, how you going, bro?
I'm all good, brother Kip. It's good to see you, my man.
Doing something different this time. It's a funny story, pretty embarrassing, but we were originally
It's gotta be told.
originally we had everything planned to do an interview in his hotel that we were staying at, and there was actually the hotel that we'd planned to do it in is one that we used to stay at the Broncos, and anyway, long story short, I finished work, keen as, hadn't seen me mate in ages, drove an hour and a half all the way up to Sydney, set everything up, and everything was looking smick, and I was like, it's just perfect. Everything went right, and it got to 8 o'clock and we're supposed to do it, and you can tell the rest. Oh.
So 8 o'clock come along. I was like, all right, Geordie was my roommate. I was like, Geordie, want to come down? He goes, yeah, I'm keen to see Kempy. So we went down, and I rang you, and I was like, Kemp, what room are you in? And I forget what room it was, but you're like, it's right by the computers. And I was like, yeah, I'm standing right by the computers. And you're like, oh, hang on, I'll come out, I'll meet you. And I was like, sweet. And then you're like, where are you standing? I was like, bro, I'm by the computers. And you're like, so am I. I was like, oh no. I go, are you at the right hotel? And you're like, yeah, the Pullman. I go, Pullman, Sydney? And you go, yep. And I go, Hyde Park. And you go, oh, fuck. I'm at Olympic Park. And I was like, oh.
Oh my God. Like, what are the chances? And also, like, what were the chances of, like we used to stay at the one that I went to.
Yeah, I know.
And also,
I don't click about that one. I forgot about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I interviewed Normie there.
Yeah.
Or Corey Norman for people listening. Yeah, I interviewed Corey Norman there, and so like it was just in my head, like I wasn't thinking. And in the message it says Hyde Park. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But funny story though.
Oh,
Me and Geordie couldn't stop laughing, man.
Bro, I was just like I was just like trying to find any positive, any silver lining on the way home, and I was just like, there's none. There's seriously none. It was like an hour and a half drive home, and I was just like, this sucks. This is so shit.
Yeah, no, I felt bad.
But
should have read the text though, bro.
Oh, 100%. But it's 100% your fault, not my fault.
So we got to resort to the old Skype.
Yes. First, but hopefully, if it goes well, hopefully of many. If it works out, it works out. But we'll see what happens. So how you been, bro? You're on a killer season. Walk us through because the last few seasons have been pretty disappointing for the Broncos, and I know I was there 2 seasons ago, so I know how disappointing it was and everything like that. Walk me through the different feeling of going so well compared to underachieving.
Oh, obviously, man. Like, you know, when you're winning games, it makes life outside of football a lot better. You turn up to training every day, like happy as and keen to get stuck into it. And the vibe at the club is just unreal, as you would know. Like when you start having some success in that, everyone just wants to be around each other. And we just can't get over how good we're going. And the main goal is that we don't waste what we've done at the start of the season and keep going on throughout the back end of the season. But like you said, you know, we haven't been in this position in a little while, and it's great to be, you know, going so well. And I'm enjoying my football, and I know all the other boys in our team are as well. So it's been great, bro.
And also on top of that, the Kiwis have found kind of new form as well. Like, I mean, you guys, you guys went from 2008 World Cup win. Yeah. And then, you know, you still were competitive, but then again last year, you killed it again. You won again, didn't you?
Yeah,
was it this year?
Oh, we took out the Four Nations end of last year. I wasn't amongst the team, which was a bit of a bummer, but it's great to see, the New Zealand team doing so well and giving the Australian team a run for their money.
Yep.
They've had such an outstanding team the last 5 or 6 years that no other nation could compete with them. But the great thing for the Kiwis and also myself is that like there's a great nature at the international level that all the boys are pledging their allegiances to the Kiwis, and we're starting to have a strong team. In the last 2 years, we put Australia to their test, and we got the four nations title. So it's awesome to see for our nation. New Zealand's a massive rugby union dominance back there, so having some success with our Kiwi side is definitely boosting our rugby league back in New Zealand. So it's great.
So speaking of so you grew up in New Zealand, eh?
Yeah,
But
grew up there.
but your heritage is Cook Island
Yeah,
and
so
Pakistani.
Wow, you're more Paki than me.
Bro, I'm Afghanistan, all right, and I'm passionate. I'm a passionate Afghani.
At least you're passionate, brother. That's a good thing.
Nah, so you're Cook Islander, eh?
Yeah, so I'm half Cook Island and half Kiwi. My dad's Kiwi and my mum's Cook Island.
Yep.
But I was born in Auckland.
And so you grew up in Auckland. Whereabouts in Auckland you grew up? Because I lived there for a year, obviously you know that, in Ponsonby.
Yeah. Oh, you're in a good spot, man. You're pretty central.
Yeah,
But I grew up in the North Shore in a place called Beach Haven, which
Yep.
is over the Harbour Bridge. So I grew up in Beach Haven up until we moved over here when I turned 14 years old. So they call it the Bronx over there, Beach Haven, but I love it, man. It's
You're a
made me
gangster,
who
eh?
I am, bro.
You're a
It's made me
gangster,
who
eh?
I am today.
So this year you've played every game, haven't you? Injury free.
Yeah. Oh, I think I missed. No, I missed one, bro.
Missed one.
It was against Normie too. I was filthy.
Oh,
I
Normie.
was filthy. I can't remember. Oh, it was my ankle. I had I can't remember what happened. I sore ankle or something. Just no mana.
Yep.
But nah. Yeah, it was. I think I missed out that one game against Normie, which I was looking forward to because playing against your mates, you know that feeling. It's always good going up against each other and talking smack on the field. So
Yep.
I think that's the only game I've missed this season.
And you're a pretty injury free guy. Is there something that you do differently that you like kind of keeps you injury free, or is it something that like you just kind of is like you just seem to be injury free?
Yeah, I think it's just something that I've been lucky with.
Because you haven't. What was the longest you've ever missed? It's not very long, have you? Like games.
I think the longest I've missed is 2 or 3 weeks max of a season.
yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
good,
man.
man.
I've been pretty
blessed.
lucky. Yeah, been blessed, bro. Been blessed.
So this year you guys are playing like the best footy Broncos have played in probably what 4 or 5 years. Probably
Yeah,
what 2006. 2006 was the last time you guys played
Last
this well.
premiership.
What's the difference? Like, is there a different? Obviously Wayne's a big difference, but like, has training changed a lot? Has the vibe? Like, what have been the changes that have taken you from a team that has underachieved to a team
Yeah.
that is like the best team in the comp at the moment?
Yeah, I think there's a whole lot of things that's helped us to get to where we are at the moment. Obviously Wayne coming in, he's made a lot of changes with the club, and he basically, when we first got to meet him, he called a meeting and basically said that what his goals were for the year, and told us a story about him because not many of us had worked under him.
Yep.
I think it was only 3 or 4 of the boys that had played under him. So he gave us a background about himself, and it just opened our eyes to the person he is and how passionate he was for the club. And then obviously, we got some of the greatest coaching staffs in the game. Alex Corver and Stephen Hooper, and then Wayne brought Jeremy along, which he's amazing. Jeremy lad, he's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a great guy, and he listens to the players. When your body's a bit sore throughout the week, he pulls you out of training sessions and stuff and makes sure that, your body's ready to go on the weekend. But, just all in all, I think, the trainers are consistently, working around our training schedule to make sure that our bodies are peaked to go into our game on the weekend. And it definitely helps, You'd know, bro, when your body's sore, man, the 100%. Last thing you want to be doing is going out there and, training extra hard and trying to whack each other. And then come the game, you're exhausted.
And what a lot of people don't realise is, like, there's nothing worse than, like, missing a game of footy and watching your mates go out and play. Like, it sucks.
100%, man. It's the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling. Every player that would miss a game, like Billy Slater and that, and Cooper Cronk missing out on Origin, you could just imagine the pain they were going through.
Yeah, 100%.
You got no control over how the boys are going to play, and you got no input to the result either. So, you train your asses off throughout the whole week and or throughout the whole year, and to sit on the sideline and have no input, man, there's nothing worse.
Sorry, just got a message.
So,
you know how it is, bro. So you came through Queensland Cup and you played for Burleigh, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I've got a funny story for you that I've never actually told you, and I only just thought about it the other day. Yeah. Well, you were playing, and you're playing on the wing. Hey.
No, I was in centres.
On the centre. Okay, you're in centres. But anyway, so you actually took a photo with Ivan and Wayne, I think.
Yeah.
And the Broncos, the first graders. I was in first grade at the time. We saw it, and you said on the photo, my future coaches.
Bull crap!
I swear to God.
Bull crap!
I swear to God.
What?
That's how we saw it.
Whatever, bro. You know me. I'm not.
I'm taking the piss, but you did take a photo with them, and we actually saw it, and you were killing it. I'm joking about my future coaches bit. You took a photo with them, and we as first graders actually saw it, and because you were getting a bit of hype around you at the time, and I just thought it was funny that, back in that day, you had a picture with Wayne and Ivan. Ivan's not in the club anymore, but I just thought it was a funny kind of road for you going all the way from Q Cup, and we had up at the Broncos. We had seen you already at that time, and you're taking photos with Wayne, and now years later you're getting coached by him. I mean, what's that like for you? How does that feel for you?
Yeah, it's pretty buzzy, to be honest. It's funny you brought up that photo because I was going through the old archives and I came across that photo too.
Oh, really?
I took it to Wayne and I was like, this is the first time I met you. Can you remember this day? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, geez, I've still got it. I'm still handsome as. But I just cracked up laughing. I was like, to see myself go from where I was back then to now.
Geez, you would have been skinny.
Quite surreal. I was, man. I was. Bro, I'm going to get that photo up. I've got it. Here it is, bro. I'm going to try and put it up to the screen.
Yeah, sweet.
See if it'll work.
We'll try and get it right. What? Bro, you can fully see it.
Yeah,
there's like, Ivan. So there's Ivan, Wayne, and Wayne, your mother?
My mum, yeah.
And some skinny packy guy. Oh, man.
So that was the first time I met him, man.
Does that spin you out, like, to think all those years ago, everything that's happened from now to then, Wayne, the chances of Wayne coming back to this club so small. Why did I say this club? I'm not at the club anymore. The club, they're so small, and he's back coaching you. I mean, is this just like a trip for you?
Yeah, it's buzzy, man. It's definitely buzzy. I still remember the first phone call I got from him, and when he said it was Wayne Bennett, I sort of, got the stutters and didn't know what to say. But it's quite surreal to, be working under him week to week basis, and you understand what everyone says about him. I remember 100%. You telling me, you're like, man, I've never been coached under someone who's been on par with Wayne Bennett, and you can understand where you're coming from now after working with him for the last 8 or 9 months. He's just so passionate about his team, and also puts a lot of time into his players outside of the field. And, he wants you to be great footballers, but at the same time, he wants you to be even better people outside of the field. So,
100%.
yeah, man, it's quite surreal, bro, to look back. What, that would have been 8 or 9 years ago, when I was that little skinny painter back in the day.
Were you a painter then?
I was a painter, man. I was a painter.
Is that your only job you've ever had?
Nah, I worked for a mate at his pizza and pasta restaurant.
Yep.
Worked with him, and what else did I do? Labourer back in the day.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. Cab driver.
Well, actually, I've got to apologise to you, actually. I got an apology for you, and it is heartfelt. It does come from the heart. There's actually a time in 2010, and I'd just broken up with my ex-girlfriend, and I just needed to get out of the house. It was just a rough breakup, all that shit.
Yeah.
And I came and stayed at your house, and you gave me the grace of letting me stay at your house, and I towed you up in FIFA every time I played you. And I just, and I'm just sorry. That is bro code. I just want to apologise that I came to your house, you let me stay there for a few days, and I towed you up in FIFA and COD. And I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. I'm truly sorry. I broke the bro code. I'm sorry, bro. All right? Okay, I towed you up every time I played you. You pretty much were like a novice compared to pretty much like Wayne Bennett versus a local league coach. That's what it was like.
For me.
Yeah, you were the local league coach. Please.
Well, I'm a gamer. I've always been a gamer. When you're in my house.
You know I'll smoke you.
Please.
I'll give
you that. Like, FIFA, you're pretty good at, but I still pumped you.
Oh, please.
Back in those days when you come stayed over, I was the king of Call of Duty. And
bro, I introduced you to Call of Duty.
I was the king. I was prestige. Ridiculous.
Oh my god, you actually ended up being pretty good, but you camp quite a lot.
I was just knife guys. Knifing. That's how it got boring, bro.
So let's talk about that. What do you do in your downtime? I know we used to have a lot of carver sessions and all that kind of stuff. What do you do in your downtime?
Yep. Well, now that I'm living down the Gold Coast. I've got 2 dogs, ruthless dogs too.
Please, little lap dogs.
Please, bro. So
you want me to get my pity? You want me to get my pity up here? Pity. Pity. I'll show you my pity.
Bros, my cat will be bigger than your pity.
So, it's coming.
Show us your pity, bro. Yeah.
Look at this shit. No one's messing with this dude, bro. No one's messing with the beanie. Anyway, we'll get back to the
crack up.
Yeah. So, what's the hopes for this year? What's the hopes for the rest of the year for you?
Obviously to go to the grand final and hopefully take it out. I think that's pretty much everyone's who plays footy. That's everyone's goal, man, and everyone's dream. So, that's our dream, and that's our goal for the end of the season.
Yep.
We want to go the whole way, and we just got to take it week by week, man.
Yep.
It's a tough competition, and we got a hard road going home.
Yep.
I think I think we got 8 games left, and in those 8 games, out of those 8 games, we have six solid games against the top 8 teams. So it's not going to be easy, but we just got to take it as a week-to-week basis.
So Kiwis, are you looking to make the Kiwis this year again? Or were you injured last time, or just Broncos went down as well?
I wasn't playing enough consistent football for the selectors, and I agreed with them as soon as I got the phone call and I was in the team. I kind of saw it coming because in myself I felt that I didn't play as well as I could have for the season, and I just didn't make the cut at the end of the day, and that team was outstanding. Obviously, they went and won the 4 Nations. So, it just made me have a hard look at myself and realize that, I've got some hard work to do to put in the preseason coming into this year, and a lot of hard work throughout the season. So yeah, it's a goal for me end of the year, brother Kemp. But I just got to make sure I'm performing for my club week in, week out, and the rest will be in the selectors' hands.
I actually got a funny memory for you that I wanted to bring up. Do you remember that time? It was a hot summer day, and it was me, you, Jared Beale. Was it Normie? Yeah, it was Normie. It was Normie.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
And it was just like hot as, and we're like, what's a good idea? Will be a good idea to go get a blow up pool. And so we went and got the blow up pool, and we had nowhere to put it. It was already made up, and we had nowhere to put it. Our coal car was just full.
So remember, it was hot as we were at my house. We had no pool, so we're like, the struggle was real back then. So we're like, boys, how mad it'll be? We'll go get a blow-up pool from Kmart. So sure enough, we all jumped in Beals' car. I think there was one more person there. It might have been Geordie.
Oh,
Geordie.
maybe Geordie.
Because there were 5 of us. I remember there was 5 of us in the car. So we got up the blow-up pool, and we took it back to my house, and then we realized how big it was, and we couldn't actually, it would take us hours to blow it up. And so we were like, man, by the time we get this thing up, it's going to be dark time. So what's the point? And then Beals was like, oh, my dad's got an air compressor at his house. So we're like, sweet, let's go. And Beals at the time only lived around the corner. So we're like, yep, that's us. We'll go blow it up at Beals' house and bring it back. Not knowing, Billy's got a Mazda 3 back then. This blow-up pool was bigger than the car. So we blew the whole... we blew the pool up. And then all of us being dum-dums, we were like, bruh, how are we going to get this back? And then so all of us being stupid as... It's probably illegal as we decided to chuck it on the roof, and whoever was sitting on the window seats had to have one hand out the window holding the pool down so it wouldn't fly off.
It was flapping everywhere.
It was flapping ridiculous. Beals couldn't see out the back window because it was hanging over the back.
Yeah.
And I was on the front seat. I had one hand holding it. And then I had to change the gears for Billy while he had one hand on the steering wheel and one hand out the window.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and I was in the back going, I can't hold it. I can't hold it anymore. And you were like, Dad, just hold it. Just hold it. We're going to let it go. You're in the middle of the road.
But at the time, like, we can look back now and piss ourselves laughing, but at the time, there were massive blow-ups.
Oh, it was so illegal and dangerous. We were on the main road with a friggin' a blow-up boat on our roof. Man.
The good times, though.
Such good times, man.
Yeah. And then it took what? A couple of hours to blow up, to fill up with water.
Yeah, and it was cold by the time.
It was cold by the time.
We were in it for like 30 minutes and we were like, man, it's a bit cold, eh? Like, we didn't want to admit it to each other though, because like then we'd be like, we just did that for nothing. And then I came over like 3 weeks later, and it was just like all leaves and shit in it, and it was just like forgotten about. We never used it again. It was just out the back, never used again.
The effort we put into to setting it up,
not worth it.
Took longer than we actually sat in that pool.
It was worth the story, though. It was worth the
story. Great story. Great story.
I've actually got a few fan questions for you.
Oh, yeah.
Off Reddit. They were pretty stoked to have you on the show, actually. I got a question. Actually, I want you to answer the questions in your best Aussie accent. And I'll say I'm in a Kiwi accent. Nah, I'm joking. I won't put that on you. All right. This is from Dreadlock Aussie. And he just said, what are the key differences between Wayne Bennett and other coaches you have played under, IG, Griffin, Kearney? Yep.
I think, a lot of coaches, they all have the same mentality, but I think with Wayne, I've noticed he's simplified a lot of things in both attack and defence, so it restricts any of those grey areas or confusion out on the field. And I think that's one of the main things with me that I've seen in the improvement to us. There's a lot of technicalities to the way footy teams play, but with Wayne, it's just simple. He knows what wins games, and the defensive structure and stuff. He's just simplified it all, and everyone understands, and everyone's on the same page.
Yep, it's so 100% true. So true.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing with Wayne is, like, I feel like when I was under him, and you probably feel the same way, is like he creates such a bond with the players that you feel like even if you weren't in this footy team, he would care about you. And I think that that was a huge thing. Like, I mean, I was always a different. Like, I wasn't a guy that wanted to go out and hurt people. I remember this time, it was me and Darius actually, and it was coming into finals footy, and he just pulled us both aside and he just said, "Look, I know you aren't guys that go out to try and hurt people. You're not that kind of person. But I want, instead of using aggression, I want you guys to use how passionate you are about playing." And I was like, man, this guy just gets me, Like, and it's just it's crazy like that, Like, he says these things to you, and you're just like, what? Like, no other coach has ever, like, been 100%. Able to understand exactly what I needed to hear when I needed to hear it. And it was just crazy.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I think that's one of his strengths, When I first met him, man, he pulled everyone into, his office every now and then. Firstly to, meet you one-on-one and get a feeling for each other. And when I first met him, he told me that, he reads a lot of people just by looking at them.
Yep.
And he's on the money with everything,
100%. Like, it's crazy. I can't even explain it. Until you actually experience it, you're just like, what? No way.
100%. 100%.
Okay. Okay, Super Cronk. Super Cronk. He asked you, what are 3 things you like and dislike about being a rugby league player? Contact sessions, hate them.
Pre-season is definitely one of them.
Yep.
I think every football player would agree. It's definitely the hardest part of your season. Because you've had 8 weeks off, and you come in and you're not playing football, so the trainers see it as an opportunity to flog you.
Yep.
And it's definitely the hardest 2 months of the season. You just you turn up, and every second day it's pretty much a towel up session.
Yep.
Even though your body's sore as
yep.
They still chuck you out there and run you down, but. Pre-season's one of the dislikes about football.
Yep.
Also, the you don't get to go on holidays when you want to.
Yep.
If we wanted to go to Europe,
you got to go in there.
The best time to go is June, July, which is their summer.
Yep.
That's one thing that it's a bit of a downer, man. The only time we get to go on a holiday would be around October. Start of November, depending on how far you go in the season. So that's also a bummer. Positive things, I think one of the greatest things is you get to meet a lot of great people.
100%.
You build some great relationships, friendships. I should say relationships.
Damn.
Friendships. You build some great friendships.
Yeah.
Like me and yourself, we never met each other till we started playing football together. And since then, we've been great mates to this day. So definitely the greatest thing is the friendships you make. Also, the feeling when you come in after a tough win.
100%. So good.
It's something you play for, and you work your butts off throughout the week just for that feeling in the sheds after a great win, and singing your team song. And, you can't have a greater feeling. But I could imagine, winning the grand final would be the pinnacle of it all. Winning the hardest competition, I reckon, in Australia, and to win that would be unbelievable, and the feeling, I guess, would be nothing could match it. So the greatest things, is just the friendships you have. You also keep fit doing it, and that feeling in the sheds after a win.
100%. I got a question here about from late Reg, but he just kind of asked about what the difference is this year with the Broncos, but you've kind of gone over that. Who's the from Weapon 7? Who's is there any clubs that you specifically don't like playing?
Don't like playing.
Like, for instance, for me, it was Melbourne Storm. I hated playing them.
Yeah, I think they definitely, they're one of the teams that it wasn't the fact that I didn't like it. I just knew there was a tough job coming up.
Yep.
Melbourne, you know, they're big three players. They're so experienced that they push their players to play the full 80 minutes, and you always knew that no matter what, you were in for a full 80 minutes performance. And if you're anything short of that, you obviously weren't going to get the win. So to me, Melbourne Storm are definitely one of the teams that, I find it's going to be a tough comp.
Pretty much last question, I reckon. Who would be a dream player to play against any generation? I think that's coming from I think it's Storm and Red or Intelligent Comment. But yeah.
Dream player. Playing with Darren Lockyer, it's been that
was crazy.
That's unreal, eh? And I've never played with anyone who's been so dominant in his era. He was. You could see why he lost his voice, man. He just didn't shut up on that field. Just directed everyone. So playing with him, that was definitely something I'll never forget. But I guess if there was someone who I'd love to play with, it would be Wendell Sailor, to be honest.
Oh,
the Dell.
He sprayed me so hard when I played him on his match back when he came back.
Yeah.
He sprayed me so hard. He was like, what did he say? He was like, "Oh, we're not playing soccer now. You got nothing. You can't kick." He's like, "You got nothing. You can't kick the ball now." Like, have a look at you. Like, just spraying me the whole game, man. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I was just like looking over, like, man, I grew up watching this dude, and he's so big. I was just praying he didn't run at me, because there's no way I was tackling him. He was so big.
Yeah, man, he's still big to this day. See him on the footy show and the arm wrestling comp.
Oh my god, he snapped a dude's arm in half. Like, who snaps a dude's arm in half?
Oh, man.
Like, that would make me feel sick to my stomach, man.
Yeah, 100%. But the Dell, man, every time I've met him, we have a chat. He's just
so infective,
yeah, man.
Like,
and he's
so
confident, bro.
Yep, so good. I love
hilarious.
it. He's just got he's got his own personality, and it just infects you. Like, it's just, he can work a crowd, whatever. I just love it,
I was speaking to Wayne as well about him, and he was like, he's the only guy that's I've coached that will come to training, and they'll be out training, and he's wearing like gold chains and his like diamond earrings and that training.
That's sick. I love that stuff. Yeah. Speaking of like layers, did you watch the fight yesterday? Conor McGregor versus Mendes. Do you watch UFC?
We're on the flight coming back from Sydney.
Bro, it was the craziest UFC card I've ever seen in my life. It reminded me a lot of me back in my heyday when
You and Jarrell, bro.
Bro, we talking about it on the Corey Norman's podcast, all right? Let's just forget it.
I've seen that.
You've got it on film.
Bro, it's all on my lappy.
Whoopsie. Might have to delete that one. It's my only loss. It's my only loss. It's also my only fight. It's my only loss, though.
0-1.
But it was, bro, the fight yesterday.
Insane, eh?
Oh my god! It was all the fights were. It was the best. It was honestly the best UFC card I've ever seen in my life. It was the best fight card I've ever seen in my life.
Why is
so
that?
Good, bro. Trust me. Just watch the replays of the fight. Every single fight was like. Just trust me. If you can somehow watch these fights, just watch them. They're hectic. Like,
Boy, I take my hat off to those guys. They're nuts, man. Honestly,
bro.
It's that to jump in the ring like with one of them, man, you'd have to pay me that much money.
Oh, bro, no way.
It's ridiculous.
They got to train everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, man.
100%. But imagine the confidence, like them walking out on the street and stuff.
Well, they reckon a lot of them like a real like zen and chill because they get it all out in the gym. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You'd
Yeah.
think that they'd be like all aggressive, but they reckon a lot of them because like they fight so much, they just get it
Yeah.
out of their system. So,
Yeah.
but,
That
yeah.
makes sense, though.
Imagine how alpha you'd be. You'd just be walking around like imagine like Mike Tyson in his prime.
Oh,
Just
100%.
walk around. I'm the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah, 100%. Knowing that no one could tell you
Yeah,
up.
no one.
Yeah.
Bro, I think it's been already over 30 minutes. So this is,
Swear.
yeah, I'm
Easy.
pretty sure.
Jeez, time flies when we're having fun, eh, bro?
100%, bro, 100%. Especially when we're telling stories about us doing stupid shit.
Well, we got a whole heap more.
Oh, 100%. So we're gonna have you on the show again in
Yeah.
5 or 6 weeks. So this was just like
Yeah.
you being a good bloke helping me out because you wrote me the wrong message with the wrong place on it. No, I just want to thanks for this, bro. I really appreciate it, man. I'll just